This is a Hobie Cat Pro Angler 17T, a formidable two-man kayak that's built with serious fishing in mind. This is a difficult toy for me to part with. I had dreams of making memories with my boys on the water and spent a great deal of time accessorizing and customizing it. If you click on the link referenced in the video description, you'll see a bunch more hours invested in building a creative storage solution. Unfortunately, the city cited me for code violation, and I was forced to take down my carport, leaving me nowhere to store the kayak. So, with just 3 times in the water, I'm regrettably selling everything together. I'll go over some of the main features of the kayak, which are better learned on Hobie's website, but will highlight a few of my customizations: the adapted trailering solution, a Raymarine fish finder with custom-built battery box, and a unique rod holder that allows you to bring several rods out with you while keeping them out of the way and the deck clear.
We didn't have no internet, but man, I never will forget the way the moonlight shined upon her hair. And we were trying different things, and we were smoking funny things, making love out by the lake to our...
At the bow of the kayak, there's a storage compartment that lashes down with quick pull bungees. Inside, you can store gear that will stay dry. Some folks pull the white liner out of the cutout and wrap it with insulation, which turns the bin into a fish locker or a place to keep lunch and drinks cold. I keep an emergency horn, the dock line, bungee dock tethers, and life jackets here. The kayak is driven by Hobie's legendary Mirage drive fitted with turbo flippers. These things are surprisingly efficient and downright fast with 2 people pedaling. They just pop into the ports in the hull and lock in with 2 simple throws. The kayak comes with rod storage tubes on each side of the bow and stern with triple hooks that fasten to the H rails. These rod tubes will hold 12 fishing rods, but I found they took up precious deck space. This is what had me searching for other options. Thanks, YouTube. More on that later. There are H-rail mounted tackle bins, which can be simply repositioned or even flipped to the outside of the boat, preserving deck space. The kayak has 3 hatches on deck, all of which are well suited to tackle storage. A twist of the hatch lock opens the door and conveniently presents Plano tackle boxes right where you want them. On one side, I've got Hobie H-rail accessories to hold my paddle out of the way until it's needed. It's simple to deploy and store. I used an H-rail accessory plate and cut a small section of a cutting board to create a bait cutting station. This can be moved wherever you like in the boat. I invested in a Raymarine Dragonfly 7-inch fish finder with chirp down vision, sonar, and navigation. The chirp technology renders beautiful photo-like images of the bottom contour. I prefer this to the red, blue, yellow sonar display I've always found tricky to interpret. I purchased the Navionics map chipset, which has loads of lakes and coastal waters mapped with bottom contour. I used a Pelican waterproof case and modified the camera foam inside to safely store the display unit when it's not in use. I've neatly wired the scupper transducer and mounted the fish finder on the H-rail with a ram mount, which allows you to swivel, adjust, and tilt the display in any direction. To power the fish finder, I built a battery box that's completely waterproof and very simple to use. It stores in one of the 3 hatches in the deck. I built the box to include an illuminated on-off switch, USB ports so you can charge your phone or GoPro cameras on the water, a cigarette lighter adapter for a floodlight or other accessory, and even a voltmeter so you can monitor battery levels. A fully charged battery will run the fish finder for about 15 hours. When it's time to recharge the battery, simply connect it to the LiPo battery charger, the same kind you'd use to charge a remote control car battery. Despite how it might look, it's super easy. At the back of the kayak, there are more rod tubes molded into the hull. I bought Hobie's anchor kit and added a float to the line. I also added chain above the anchor to help it deploy properly. I also purchased and installed Hobie's anchor trolley kit, which allows you to change the anchor point along the side of the kayak, which can be helpful in wind or current. There's rudder control from all 3 seating positions, in the center when you're out alone, and at each end when you've got someone with you in the boat. There are pull cords for both the rudder and the skeg in 2 locations on the boat. Here's another tackle bin with tray and adjustable bungees. I bought this rescue step for the kayak, which can be simply deployed in the event you fall out or capsize. Incidentally, I found it very difficult to capsize the boat even when trying. Simply pull on the handle and a webbing step comes out to help you back in. To measure catch, I put a 36-inch fish tape inside the gunnels. At the stern, Hobie has put 2 missile launcher style rod holders which work well, but I removed them and built a custom rod rack with PVC tubing. It'll hold up to 8 rods, but I use one for a landing net and one for a gaff. I flared the mouths of each tube by heating the PVC with a torch and shoving a wine bottle down into each one of them. I notched the tubes at the bottoms to secure rods in place with bungee balls. I built 2 of the rod holders with cotter pins which allow you to rotate and secure the tubes outward. In this position, they act like outriggers and allow you to troll with 2 rods spread wide.
Everybody's looking for something, something to fill in the holes. We think a lot, but don't talk much about it.
There are 2 drain plugs at the stern where I tie the trailering flag when transporting the kayak. The kayak comes with 2 seats, both fully adjustable. A twist of one arm will recline or bring the back upright. The other adjusts the angle of the seat. Both seats can be removed and used on shore for lunch or a break from the water. Given its size, it's not practical to throw this kayak on top of your car. It really needs to be trailered. And Hobie makes a trailer for this purpose, but the reason I chose the Yakima rack and roll trailer is because it's aluminum, so there's no corrosion, and most importantly, it collapses and stores upright to save space. I modified the trailer by first upgrading the stock shocks on the trailer with Yakima's heavy-duty ones. They're orange coils versus blue. I then replaced the hollow steel tube cross members with solid stainless steel bar stock. There is 0 flex to these things. I then used stainless steel hardware, U-bolts, washers, and nylock nuts to attach galvanized steel unistrut. The unistrut bears 3-inch Schedule 40 rigid conduit wrapped in marine-grade carpet. I spaced the conduits to coincide with the channels on the bottom of the kayak, which distributes the weight of the vessel across a broader area to prevent deforming the hull. The kayak slides on very easily.
You can feel it, yeah. Nothing's missing.
Here you can see how easy this thing is to trailer and maneuver by hand. I've got loads of accessories, a list of which will scroll at the end of this video, but some of them include life jackets for both passengers. One features a safety whistle, an emergency beacon in a zippered pocket, anodized aluminum fishing pliers with replaceable carbide cutter blades, and a holds-it anti-corrosion sheath, and braided line scissors, both mounted to self-retracting zingers. I've got a telescoping rubber landing net. I also have a telescoping gaff, both of which fit nicely in the PVC rod rack at the stern. I built up 2 Danielson rubberized steel crab traps, which sadly were never used. I outfitted them with 2-pound lead balls on each corner, lead wire on each door, lead core line to keep the rope from floating and getting caught in boat props, float buoys, wire bait cages, and glowing bait canisters. Crab season opens on November 4th, folks. I've got a ton of accessories. I've got a crab gauge, a fish bat, a lip gripper scale, GoPro mounting kit with ram ball accessories, H-rail clamp accessories for rod storage, mounting plates, an emergency shore flag, dry storage bag, and dual chambered paddle float, an unused O'Neill shorty wetsuit, brand new booties, cleats, battery charger, manuals, receipts, instructions, a model-specific dolly, everything you need to operate and enjoy this tandem fishing machine. The Hobie H-Crate organized storage holds 4 rods vertically in the corner slots and has endless configuration options. As aforementioned, this rig has only been in the water 3 times: the Sacramento River for shad fishing, bass fishing on Pine Mountain Lake, and Huntington Lake for trout fishing. It's never been in the ocean and has been stored in the gable of my carport. See the video referenced in the video description. I would prefer to sell everything together, rods excluded. Folks, I've got over $12,500 invested in this package. I know I'm going to take a huge haircut. This is your chance to own a vessel that's been used 3 times and save literally thousands and thousands of dollars. Feel free to call or email with any questions. Thank you for your interest and for watching.